Oh, it's recording. I was waiting to see the flashing button. Hi, guys. So it is Tuesday, April 28th. I've lost count of how many days we're in quarantine now. Um, but I wanted to check in with you guys. We are right at the end, right? We've got just over about a week left of our course and our time together. And it just really seems like it has just flown by. I don't know why. Doesn't it seem like I'm all dark and mysterious today? I don't know why the lighting's not right, but this is like the quiet, calm spot of my house today. So I'll be dark and mysterious in a corner. So I just want to review a couple of things, and I'm going to do a screen share. Okay. I've got our syllabus pulled up. And so we're coming up on our final two assignments, right? We've got our second essay coming in that's due this Thursday, and then lesson plan two. And so I first off, I just, before we get into that, I'm just really bummed that we weren't able to meet in person for this quarter. You know, for those of you that I've been able to talk with on the phone, Zoom with, have like real conversations with, you guys are just an amazing group of students. Aside from the work that you've already turned in, and your insightful discussion points, I'm just bummed that this is how we had to have our class. Be that as it may, we're almost done, right? So I know the paper's due on Thursday. I've given guidance on it in prior videos. And those of you that had questions or concerns, I think have reached out. But just the final piece of guidance on this paper is this is not even guidance as much, but I want you guys to understand kind of the point of this, right? And the overarching goal behind doing this paper is to start to instill self-reflection, right? How did my teaching go? What can I do better? That is a lifelong skill that you are going to have every single day of your life as a teacher, right? And that you will constantly need to be reflecting on, okay, my kids got this, my kids didn't get this. And it doesn't matter whether it's first grade, math, or senior volleyball, right? Like whatever it is that you're trying to teach and whatever objectives and goals you want your students to master, you will have to reflect on each day. So that was kind of the overreaching uh, point of this 500 word essay. The second part of it has a more immediate effect, and that's when as you are preparing to do your EdTPA, there is a lot of reflection in that, right? So the two kind of go hand in hand. For some of you that are in the classroom and you can kind of visualize students, you know who they are, that need that extra support, that need something a little different, or those students that need that push to go above, right? It may be a little easier for you to visualize what you could do different next time. For those of you that aren't in a classroom, think back to your own classroom experiences, right? What students when you were in school needed extra help? What students when you were in school really excelled? Try to think about those students and see, okay, if they were in my classroom now, what would I do to ensure that they were able to access the lesson, to be able to achieve mastery in what I'm trying to teach them? Okay, so I hope that helps with a little bit more clarity. And I know the paper's due in 2 days, but we have reviewed this in prior videos. But I was just talking with a couple of you yesterday and today. And so I just wanted to kind of bring that out again. Okay. Then second is lesson plan number 2. Some of you have already turned this in. Thank you. For those of you that have turned it in, I will get you feedback very soon. Based off of lesson 1, the vast, no, not even vast, all of you are on the right track to doing lesson 2. So I would not worry about that. I know that it's due the last day of our class. If there was something that really needed to be fixed or changed, I would get in touch with you right away, so that it would not affect your final grade. Okay, so I don't want you worrying about that. And so lesson plan 2 really is going to be a continuation of sorts of the essay, right? When in the essay, you're reflecting and you're evaluating, okay, what can I do a little different this time? So that's what I want to see in lesson plan 2, right? Where that reflection is shown during the instruction portion. Well, for students that have really excelled at this, now I'm taking them to this next step. These students are expected to do X, Y, Z. For students that were struggling, here's how I'm supporting them to get them up to the objective levels, okay? So that's the type of stuff that I'll be looking for in lesson plan 2, okay? The final thing that I want to go over with you guys is I know I've been on other Zooms now, so I know it looks absolutely crazy when I'm trying to find something and you guys are just kind of like watching the screen and you can't see all the stuff I see, but okay, our last class sign up. I think it looks like almost everyone has signed up except for a few people, okay? And by few, I mean like 2 or 3. So if you have not signed up, I have not gone through and like done a checklist yet. I will, but I haven't done that yet. But if you haven't signed up, just get your name on a slot. I can't wait to actually meet you and see you in person, so to speak, online, and just have a chat with you guys. And so that's going to be next Thursday, okay, May 7th. We're going to start, I'm sorry, next Wednesday and Thursday. So we'll start at 6 o'clock on both days. This is the schedule I'll be following. I will be creating Zoom links for these. I will send you emails so that you can either access the Zoom that way, but I'll also put the Zoom link on this sheet so that if you can't find the email, you can just log into a Zoom and jump in, and I'll have the meeting ID and the password on here as well. Okay. And I think that's kind of it. That's our checkup for this week. I do have the notes. I'll be emailing you guys that. I have them for both sections of the book, so I'll be sending that out to you guys. And then finally, I wasn't able to do a funny video or anything this week. It's just been a crazy week. But that does not mean I don't have a funny story for you guys. So it has been a harrowing week for me in my home. I'll give you a little backstory. So I lived in Chicago almost my entire life, lived on the north side in a neighborhood called Uptown, okay? And Uptown is a very diverse neighborhood, and I believe it's in the process of being gentrified, okay? And so where I lived in Uptown, my neighborhood, my block was completely gentrified except for my family. And we were one of the last houses, an actual house with a yard on the block. All other houses had either been torn down, built into condos, apartment buildings, condos. Okay, so the point of this is I was the only house with a yard, and I had a child, and we would play outside. And part of what we had in our neighborhood were rats, giant rats, huge cat size rats. Yes, rats that were not afraid of people. Now, I am an animal lover. I love all creatures except for rats. And I will not say that I specifically moved out of Chicago because of rats, but they were in the top 3 reasons as to why we moved out of Chicago. And my rats in Chicago were very bold rats. They were not afraid of people. They were not afraid of dogs. They did not respect the boundaries. They were supposed to come out between like 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. and go do whatever they wanted. I didn't care because I was asleep, right? But that's not what they did. These rats, oh, there goes one of my dogs. These rats came out at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon when my daughter's playing with sidewalk chalk, right? So it really freaked me out. Mental stress, all of this stuff. Hated the rats. We didn't move out here because of rats, but it was part of it, right? So we moved out here. I'm loving my house, my tiny house, my little yard, my community, all of these things. And like on last Friday, I swear I saw a rat run along my garage and into my garage. Totally freaked out. My husband's having a heart attack because he knows where I went mentally with the rats when we lived in Chicago. I moved my car out of the garage. I moved everything out of the garage, and I don't want to kill them. I just want them to go away, right? I don't want to be responsible for their death, but I also don't want them here. So I've been freaking out, figuring out what am I going to do? How am I going to get rid of these rats? And so today I went out in my backyard and I saw it running along the garage, middle of the day, like 1 o'clock, right? And then I looked and it was not a rat. It was a chipmunk. It was a relatively large chipmunk, but nonetheless a chipmunk. And so as soon as I saw that it was a chipmunk, my fear went away. I walked over, I found the hole. It is not going in my garage. It is going under my garage, which I'm fine with. The chipmunk can live there. His wife can live there. All of their kids, his mother-in-law, whoever in the chipmunk family wants to live under my garage, it is not a problem. So that is my funny anecdote for this week, to give you guys an insight into the mind of your professor when it comes to rats. Okay. And I know I'm not alone in this feeling. But it's not rats, it's chipmunks. So I'm very happy and I can enjoy my backyard again and not plot the demise of a rat family living under my garage. And that's about it. So as always, if you need to check in, call me. If you have, well, you don't have my number, but email me and I'll give you my number and we can chat. But we can chat, we can Zoom. We only have a little bit of time left, but in the time that we do have, I'm available. Okay. I am going to stop the screen share and I'm back into my, do you see the difference? It's all dark now, right? It was bright when it was on the screen share. All right, guys, that's going to be our video update for this week. I'm really looking forward to meeting you guys officially next week when we do our Zooms. And if you want to chat before then, shoot me an email and we will find some time. Okay, bye.